Hello, my name is Vortex and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be showcasing a very special redstone contraption. This is probably the best contraption I've made on this channel so far, apart from maybe the tiny TNT cannon, because I think that was really cool and compact, and it got a lot of views, which thank you everybody if you're still watching and you've watched that video for the support. That was one of my best videos I've posted, and it got loads and loads of views, even though a ton of them were probably me going back to click on some of the videos to reply to comments and such like. But this is the contraption I've come up with today, and it is a shulker box refilling system. So quite often I like to carry a shulker box full of ender pearls, some food, and maybe even some firework rockets. And today I'm going to be showing you a contraption where you can run up, put down your shulker box, and it will give you back some of those items and refill you if you run out. Now, this contraption is very good, and first of all I'm going to test it out with ender pearls. With this contraption I'll just show you in action, so I'm just making sure I've got the right amount of items in. So I'm going to start with 16 items in that hopper, so that means that we will get given 16 of the item in this shulker box, which is ender pearls, so that's perfect. So we come along, place down our shulker box. Obviously we will not have that because we'll be in survival, and then we'll get given 16 ender pearls and our shulker box back. As you can see, it's really rather fast. Then we just run off again back into our world. This is really cool, really fast, and really easy to build and use. I like to have a block there so we can run up and place it on the back without having to hold shift and place it on the hopper, or place it on the piston above, although they are both options you can have. If you want, you can toggle the amount of items you get. You can get 64, but obviously this will be slower. So if I was having food or something, I could have 64, and I would run up, place down my shulker box, I wouldn't have that, and then I'd get 64 golden carrots. The only issue with this design is, the more items you have to wait the same amount of time that you were taken to giving them before you can use the contraption again. So I would have to wait until 64 items have travelled through a hopper before I could use the contraption again. As you can see, when we're using the contraption, the piston in the bottom right is spinning like crazy, which could cause a little bit of lag, but I think it's not really a big issue. And as you can see, we've got 64 golden carrots. Now if we had one of those items in our offhand, when we run up to the thing, all of those golden carrots would be put into our offhand, which is probably desirable as quite a few people like to keep their food in their offhand. I will show you also that this works with the shulker box, which isn't full. So if I just switch this to a few less items, so let's say 8 items, just for speed of showing you, I can show you that this works with 8 items too. So we're given 8 items, and oh, that was so fast. Yep, we got given 8 items, our shulker box back, and as you can see, it was not full, our shulker box. This is really good contraption, and I'm really proud of how compact I've got it. And I'm going to walk you through how to build it, and I'll put a time up on the screen to when I actually start showing you how to build it, but first I'm going to show you what happens. So when you run up with your shulker box, you will place your shulker box here. This means that if it's full, got at least one item in it, which it has to for you to be able to use this contraption, it will give it output, which means that this torch will turn off. So we have this hopper unlocked, and this hopper unlocked and this hopper locked because that block is powered. This means items will flow from this hopper into this hopper, which means this comparator will update when all of those items have been emptied. So whenever the items change, that comparator will update, powering this when those items have all emptied out of the hopper, giving enough time for 8 items to filter through into here. Whilst this is happening, this torch will also be turned off, which means this piston will bring this up, attaching these two observer blocks facing into one another, meaning, so that observer block and that observer block, meaning we get a clock where these are pulsed. Now the reason for this piston and this observer block is because when I didn't have those two, I would end up with my shulker box left back in there, because this would turn off once the shulker box had gone, so we wouldn't have time to dispense the shulker box. To fix this, as you can see, I'm just going to add this to a little bit more. So let's see, I'm going to add, there we go, 64 items, just to have a bit more time to explain. So when we place down our shulker box, the items are dispensed, and they will just be dispensed into the void now, because I'm not there. And the clock also runs into this piston, which is spamming, sending pulses constantly to this observer block. Now when this is pushed back down, once the shulker box is gone, that observer block will power into that observer block, which will power into this block, powering that, dropper one last time, allowing the item, the shulker box, to be spat out, like so. And once this is done, the shulker box, the thing stops. I originally just had these two running into each other, without that, or that. And you could have this, it would get rid of the need for all this redstone. But the only problem with that is you are constantly having a clock running. And some of you may not want this on your server. So now I'm going to show you the resource count, which is here. So you'll need 5 iron blocks, 5 observer blocks, 1 dropper, 2 regular pistons, 3 hoppers, 2 redstone comparators, 2 redstone torches, and 1 sticky piston. So now I will show you how to build it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the block here, and this is where the dropper will be on top of, so you will stand here. Our 5 blocks does not include the block you will stand on, so I will not have that for now. We then need a hopper running into the back of that, where we will place our shulker box, and then from that we need a block on the side with a redstone comparator pointing out, taking an output from the shulker box. Then we need a block up with a torch here and a torch here, and then we need our other 2 hoppers running into each other up here. After this, we need to have a block here with a comparator on top of it, and then we need to place in some observer blocks. First observer block will go there, the second one there, then we shall have a block and one of our pistons facing downwards here that will break our shulker box. That may be slightly tricky to place in survival mode, but it shouldn't be too much of a bother. Then we will have our sticky piston facing downwards, which will have an observer block on it. Now this observer block needs to be having its powered side facing this way, so you need to place it like so. And then up here, you need to have another one facing this direction like so. And then this, so the observing ends will be facing together once this one's pulled up. And then this one needs to be facing this direction too. So we need an observer block here, and then we can break this one away. Then we need a regular piston there, which will update that chain. And your redstone contraption is finished. It's a really simple redstone contraption to build, and now I'll show you that it functions perfectly. Okay, and now to prove that this contraption works, we place in our shulker box, and we get given our 16 items. And then we get given, once again, our shulker box back afterwards. And I just put 16 items in this here, and as you can see, the items flow back in. If you activate the contraption before they flow back in, you will only get a fraction of the items you have requested, but that seems fine by me. So that's a very simple tutorial on this new amazing contraption I've built for you to enjoy at home. Thanks for watching. My name's been Vortex, and this video has sadly come to an end. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you enjoyed the video, because it really gives me some support. Goodbye guys!